All right, we've started. So I'm going to start off showing a portrait that was done of us today. Caricature. I think Yvonne's pretty darn close. For me, the dark under my lip kind of to me looks kind of like a soul patch.
But look, I have it on mine too.
Yeah, but you look cute. See? It's close. See that? So you sound and look like a cartoon character.
Awesome.
Isn't that great?
Super great.
Yeah, that's great. And I look just old. But they got her ears, which is nice. I think that's good. And then during videos, when we get home, we can just stay off camera during live streams and just put this up
totally
on
yes.
screen.
Yeah.
And then when people get mad in the comments, we can be like, it's us. I don't know what to tell you. We were in Disneyland too long. We came home animated. We just haven't figured out the whole lip moving part of the animation yet.
Right.
So we got that done in Disneyland. It was $40 for each painting / drawing of us. So my face $40, her face $40. To make them look good was $50. So we paid the $50 for hers and not for mine because nothing can save this.
What are you trying to say, Shannon?
That you look good and I don't.
So you had to pay an extra $10 to make me look good, or
making me look good doesn't work. So there's no point in the extra $10. So, no, I just mean making it look like a good painting. So they just, on the kayak commercial.
Pretty sure this was an insult.
You know the kayak commercial where he just draws.
I know you love that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Shannon loves the kayak commercials. They're his favorite.
The character, the fact that the whole family.
See, the whole family who's not Canadian has to go look that up. Go look up the kayak commercial.
Kayak commercial with caricatures. It is the greatest commercial in the history of television.
Commercials are really funny.
It is the greatest commercial ever. Anyways, so we got there early this morning, so I've had not enough sleep. I'm sore.
To do the early morning, we have to wake up at 6 because we have to be in the line at the hotel here by 6:45.
Yeah.
So then we can get into another line.
So while she was applying her makeup this morning, I went down and got in line early, which seemed to help because then we weren't so far back in the line.
By makeup, you mean like the 3 layers of sunblock I put on.
Yeah. So she was up here for half an hour applying the spackle, and
again, you keep insinuating. Man, I don't know if it's like you're tired and so you're more truthful or.
I'm so tired. No, it's not truth. There's no truth escaping me right now.
Like you're really insulting me today.
I'm not trying to. I'm insulting this guy right here.
You're not trying to. You're just doing it anyways. Doesn't take effort on your part.
It's not my intention.
Cool.
It's not my intention. So we get to the 7:30 early rope drop. She goes on Space Mountain because. So here's the thing: when I go on holiday. And before I go on holiday, I know I'm a nervous traveler. My stomach is always very sensitive. This trip, I have kind of ignored that to my own peril. And so motion sickness is something I can get. I know it's psychological, and that's the interesting thing. There's a shrink somewhere that's going to get rich off this someday. Because if I am busy, or if I'm distracted, I don't think about it. But if I'm not really distracted, then the motion sickness can take over and it can get bad. For instance, I'm fine in a vehicle, no problem, unless I'm trying to read. And then I get sick.
I can't.
And it's one of those things. So Space Mountain, from everything I've read, it's 50-50 on whether or not it would make me sick. So she wrote it this morning. While she was doing that, I did Star Tours.
Goodness.
Because Star Tours is amazing, just amazeballs, top to bottom. And so she came out of Space Mountain and was like, yeah, that's fast. So what I think would cause me to throw up would be the quick turns.
See, and I'm the opposite. I can do the quick turns. I don't do the drops well.
That's what
I have trouble with.
The drops I'm okay with as long as I know they're coming. And so we went on Rise today. Rise does not bother me. The drop with Rise doesn't bother me. When you do the drop and then you do this, and it's that when it sort of leans forward because you're flying through space. That's where my stomach kind of goes, "What's happening?" Pardon. But in general, Rise of the Resistance.
We're going on very little sleep.
It's Rise of the Resistance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're getting an average of about 4 hours of sleep
if
a
we're
night.
lucky. If we're lucky. So yeah,
Rise. We're really good at every single morning. We wake up well before the alarm.
Rise doesn't bother me though. Like I come off of it, I'm just energized. It's like Smugglers. Very good at Smugglers, which is the Millennium Falcon ride. I really enjoy that quite a bit. The motion doesn't bother me, but I know Space Mountain would, and I don't because Big Thunder Mountain Railroad made me dry heave.
That's really Shannon wasn't doing well. Thunder Mountain Railroad
But
is very jostling.
It's the rickety and then the quick turns, and I was like this. The worst thing with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad too was that as soon as the ride started, I knew I was in trouble.
Yeah.
Within the first few feet, I was like, "Oh, this is a bad idea. I shouldn't be on this ride." No, that was not this time out. So I already learned that lesson, but that's why I'm a little bit about certain rides. But we did Indiana Jones this morning. I really enjoyed Indiana Jones. And this is where the motion sickness part's interesting because it didn't bother me, even though there were drops. There was definitely that rickety thing.
They're small, and to me, it felt more like you're.
See, and to me, I was okay. There's two reasons it didn't really bother me. One, I figured out the mechanics of how the Jeeps worked because I could see the one ahead of us and what it was doing, and I was like, okay, that's what's coming. And if I know that's coming, I'm okay. And what the mechanics are of it. But when you're in pitch black and it's kind of pitching and rolling a bit, and it's like, okay, this is a bit much. We can decide not to do this in the pitch darkness. They could put a light on us or something. But yeah, I would recommend Indiana Jones. We did the Jungle Cruise twice. We did it first thing in the morning, and then we did it late at night.
That was one of the first rides, and it was your last
ride. And I have to say, I think I enjoy it more at night.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's, and maybe it's because of the kid that was hosting it, but it just felt very casual, and it felt very improv. So with Jungle Cruise, it's one of those rides that really is dependent on who's doing the running commentary during the trip.
Definitely.
And Steven, who was the heavy set gentleman we had the first time that we saw him early, he still might be my favorite. He is absolutely fantastic. But the guy we had early this morning, and I can't remember his name.
He was great. He was so funny.
He was fantastic. And then tonight, was it Trevor? Travis?
I don't remember names, so I don't know that I even heard the name in the first place.
Of course you did. He says it a bunch of times.
Just because somebody says it doesn't mean you actually hear it.
I know I heard it. I feel bad.
I don't generally hear
I feel bad.
Names.
I feel bad. So I apologize. If you're a Jungle Cruise instructor / commentator and you're watching this video and you're like, I recognize that guy from the boat, I'm sorry that I don't remember your name. I feel very sad. That is an unfortunate thing, and I should not be proud of it, and I'm not. And then what else did we do? We had a lot of rides.
We did get to a lot.
And then we went back to Star Tours as well. So you went through Star Tours. Yvonne, now I mentioned this before, Star Tours, you get a different planet, a different video, so the one we went through, the audio was cutting out, so the audio wasn't working I think there's two speakers, and one of the speakers the audio wasn't working with, but you got Maz Kanata. You hadn't seen Maz before that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Wookiee planet.
Yeah, that was great.
You got the Wookiee planet. Plus, it's funny because I had just talked to her just a couple days ago about how I hadn't really seen anything Last Jedi.
Yeah.
On the ride, and then today it was the planet from Last Jedi. Right. And that was great. And I hadn't been through that one either. So I was quite happy. As soon as we saw the crystal foxes.
Yes.
I was like,
That was fun.
okay, we're on that planet, and you go underneath the new and improved AT-ATs. I thought it was great. That
Yeah,
was
that was very
fantastic.
well done.
Uh, Rise of the Resistance is always a really fun ride. The interesting thing is, and I've mentioned this in these videos too, you can't you can't trust the queue line number in the app too much.
Yeah,
You can
they
use
give
it
you a
as a
good
guide,
general idea.
but with Rise of the Resistance, I saw there was no queue line outside. I was like, okay, I know it says 70 minutes. There's no way it's 70 minutes. So we got in, and as soon as we got in, the queue line dropped in the app to 30 minutes, and suddenly there was like a wall of people behind us.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then some of the cars ahead of us were empty. I think we got there just as the ride reopened.
Yeah, because that first room where you could see the 4 cars, the other 2 cars were empty.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
which never happens.
I think we just happened to get there right at the right time.
Yep.
There were so many people when we got out.
Yeah, when we got out, the queue line was absolutely ridiculous. I'm trying to think of what else we did. And then there were rides you did when I came back to the hotel. So it was ridiculously hot today. So at one point, I came back
Didn't
to the
you
hotel.
get to like 32 degrees today?
Celsius, yep. And so I had a shower.
So humid.
I took about an hour and a half to rest a little bit. And then I went back and met her. We went to, that's when we went to California Adventure. We tried to get to Rogers the Musical, but it was all sold out. So when we get back into the park on Thursday, we're going to give that a shot. That's supposed to be very good. We did go to the 4D theater and watch Mickey. Oh, we also went through Toontown before that, and we met Mickey Mouse. We met Minnie Mouse. Mm-hmm. Yvonne is so cute with Disney characters. It is one of the greatest things because even though these are people in costumes, she talks to them like they're the real character.
Doesn't everybody?
No. And she has this voice when she talks to the characters that is very similar to your voice when you talk to the rabbits. The cadence is a little different. The cadence is a little different, but it's so sweet, especially when you talk to Minnie. You have this affection for Minnie Mouse that is just pure and from the heart, and it's like your 5-finger death punch moment. At our first date, it's that same look in your eye, the same just absolute joy. So if Minnie Mouse ever covers a 5-finger death punch song, I think you are
that would
just
be
there.
Horrible.
I think you're there.
That would sound awful.
I think she could sing "Wash It All Away." You'd have to change up a couple of the words.
That would sound terrible.
I think she could do it. I think she'd do it. Bad Company. I think Minnie Mouse could sing "Bad Company" too. I think she could knock that out of the park. But anyways, yeah. So we did that. What else did we do in Toontown?
We just kind of wandered around.
We filmed the short at the Wishing Well.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed out my flaw in that. Did you see that in the comments?
Several people pointed out that you said it out loud, but you weren't making a birthday wish.
No.
You were making a...
I didn't say the year.
Oh.
Somebody said, "Did you say what year?" And I was like, "Damn it." I want the Canucks to win the Stanley Cup. It could be 22-46. Like
that's true. That's like that. Oh, what's the movie with Brendan Fraser where he makes the wish? No, where he makes the wishes, but it gets all twisted around. Well, you didn't say
Titanic?
that. Oh my gosh, we're not playing that game. I don't have enough energy for it. You know exactly what movie I'm talking about.
I actually I don't know that I do.
Don't.
I'm thinking of
I think it's like the devil or something, and he's making these wishes like to be rich, and so she grants the wish that he's rich.
Bedazzled.
But he's
I haven't
rich
watched
because
that one.
oh, is that? I know a lot of people don't like it, but a lot of people don't like Brendan Fraser. I do.
Yeah, but it's Elizabeth Hurley. She's delightful.
Okay, we'll have to watch it sometime because it's actually kind of clever. Because like he wishes to be rich, so she grants it, but he's rich by being a drug dealer.
Okay.
Or like it's like a drug dealer or a drug boss or something like that. So it has all of that that comes with it. Yeah. He's like, what? Well, you didn't say how you
That's
rich.
That's true.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Well.
I didn't even say which cup.
Oh,
So maybe
man,
they're going to
it
win a different
really-
kind of cup. They're going to win the President's Trophy again. It's going to be my fault.
You
And then they're going to
totally
lose in the
killed it.
first round.
But we wandered around Toontown because when we were last in Disneyland in February, it was all closed because they were redoing it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, and I'm slightly sad that it wasn't like that. I only went there twice when the boys were little. Because before Shannon, I've been to Disneyland 2 times, and both times my boys were tiny.
Yeah.
So someplace like that would have been fantastic. There's a lot more.
Yeah, Toontown's
areas
great
now.
now.
It is
Toontown for
so
parents.
cool.
For parents with small kids, Toontown is perfect.
It's like a huge
Playground.
interactive playground.
Big playground.
And then there's the like little grassy spots, and then there's that corner in the back that's totally shaded. You could take your baby to with
and
a
then
quiet spot.
so we're in line to go into Mickey's house, and this little girl, she must have been what, 3?
Oh,
2 and a half, 3.
I think she was about 4.
Okay.
But yeah,
Ed
Pete the cat.
Pete the cat.
Pete the cat came out, and she just did the most terrified screech.
She ran so fast.
To have her consoled.
Her mother said she'd never seen her run so fast. And he just comes by, and of course, it's
Pete's
a character.
All in character.
So Pete can't go over to the kid and go, "Look, I'm just a character in a suit. I'm sorry." Like, on some level, I'm thinking the guy in that suit probably thought, or lady in that suit thought, "Oh, I terrified that poor kid." Like, I would feel bad. I would feel bad.
But at the same time, hey, I'm doing my job pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he had the walk down pretty good.
Yes.
But Toontown's awesome. They've done a really good job, and it's not quite done yet either. Mostly done, but
when we were up
good.
in Star Wars Land, we saw Rey, we saw Chewbacca, and we saw the Mandalorian. So Din Djarin walks around
with Grogu.
And Grogu is the eyes blink, the head moves.
That kind of moves around.
So I thought that was a nice touch.
We saw R2-D2.
R2-D2 was there as well.
Characters this trip.
Yeah, there's been a lot of characters.
So many characters.
A lot. Ton of characters.
Yeah.
Now, also, when we were in California Adventure, we did Soarin', which was, you know, I've been on Soarin' so many times now. It felt different this time, and I don't know why.
Don't know.
I don't know, maybe it's because I'm overtired, but it felt like it went faster or something. Like, it just felt different to me somehow.
It seemed the same to me, except for we were in a different terminal than we normally are. Yeah. We went the opposite way to the other one that we've never been in that one. So,
but yeah, I really enjoyed the 4D movie too.
It was fun, especially with it being so bloody hot outside. There were so many parts of it where it was windy, so that was nice.
Yep.
So hot.
So the 4D movie is it's a little short where Mickey's magic hat ends up with
the sorcerer's hat.
Sorcerer's hat ends up on Donald's head, so just chaos ensues, and it's great. It's absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I would have loved that as a kid. That whole 4D theater experience, I would have absolutely adored that as a child. That would have been my favorite thing ever.
The side of the theater was very clever. That was
very, very well done. And then there wasn't much else we did in California Adventure.
No, we didn't go in there for very much.
We watched people on the Grizzly.
We did. We kind of wandered around a little
water ride and watched people a bit on that. Which is fun. It's your river rapids like from Roller Coaster Tycoon. It is so remarkably like the Roller Coaster Tycoon rides I used to make. Mm-hmm. So that kind of threw me a bit. Where I'm like, okay, those are the same vehicles. It's the same chain. It's the same. This is very Roller Coaster Tycoonish. So it makes me want to play the video game basically.
We went to the Blue Bayou today.
We did. The food at the Blue Bayou is good. It is pricey. I did see a comment on the hockey channel saying that if you're going to eat in Disney, it's like $200. It can be.
I don't.
It
That
can
would
be
be
expensive,
really hard.
but you'd have to get 2 filet mignons. You'd have to get a bottle of wine with the 2 filet
Yeah.
mignons, and then you're looking at about $200. But in general, you can get decent food.
For normal prices.
Decent food at McDonald's for like $10 to $15.
And most of the food is really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Food and the drinks, very good.
Yeah.
But the food isn't priced more than you would get it somewhere else.
No.
It really wouldn't. So.
And then tonight, I mean, we did Star Tours. Well, I did it 3 times today. You did it twice today.
Yeah.
And then while I was in the hotel, you did the canoes.
I did.
You did Small World.
I did.
I don't know why you put yourself through that.
Because I like looking at all the costumes, and it's an air-conditioned room that I got to sit down and be in air conditioning for 18 minutes. And when it's 32 degrees,
18
that's
minutes.
Fantastic.
I'd rather fry.
I did the canoes, Small World, and then I went to the little theater and watched Beauty and the Beast, which I'd never seen before. So, play. They do these little mini plays that are like 20, 25 minutes long.
So we got, which pictures did we get done today? Any?
We got the ones in front of the front flower Mickey head.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. We want to get as many of our pictures done as possible because we have the Genie Plus, so we might as well take advantage of it. And so we're going to have to, on Thursday, so tomorrow's our off day, and then Thursday we start off in California Adventure, and I want to get new pictures of us by the Cars Land without me wearing a red shirt with red pants. Because I didn't even realize on that holiday how gorky I looked until I saw the picture, and I was like, oh man, why did Yvonne let me leave the room? Why did she let me do that? Red shirt, red pants. Not even a belt.
Are you blaming me for your clothing choices?
No.
It sounds like you're blaming me.
No, I'm saying I need a babysitter.
Gotcha.
I need a babysitter. That's why I didn't even bring red pants. I'm not doing it. I made sure that I didn't have any pants that match my shirts unless it's black or dark blue. I'm not doing two-tone red. It's not happening. I'm not looking like one of the bloody, like a knockoff of one of the Emperor's soldiers from Star Wars. Not doing it, especially because it was a Star Wars shirt too. It was 50 Shades of Stupid. So I'm not doing that again. But yeah, today was fun.
Yeah.
I feel
watched the parade too.
I survived. I got the trade video done while I was back in the hotel. And yeah, Blue Bayou. I had the noodles, the pasta with marinara. So on the menu, it's like, what was the sauce they had?
Different.
But I asked for it with marinara, and on the menu it doesn't say they have it that way other than for kids. But if you ask, they will adjust the meal. And so they adjusted mine. It was actually pretty darn good. I really liked it. Then he came over and asked if we wanted dessert. The answer was yes. However, we had no appetite left. There was no room. So because I wolfed down. Really, when I'm on holiday, I don't eat very much. So when I eat something like that, my body goes, hey, this is food. And I wolf it down, and that can get really bad because then my stomach gets over full. So I had to watch that. But yeah, today was a fun one. Yvonne got her hoodie today, which is the last one in the park. In a size small.
Very last one. I had 2 different ladies helping to search for it, to find it, and they found one in small. The small seemed to sell out really quick in Disneyland.
Like, was that out for display or not?
No, they didn't even have it out front.
All right.
They had all the hoodies out. They were gonna take them all to that Toy Story store.
I'm glad you got it.
So that's
one thing to remember with Disney.
The Elemental movie. I love that movie so much. Yeah. I really, really like that movie.
The one thing to remember with Disney is that once the item sells out, it's probably not coming back. There's exceptions, but in general, once it's gone, it's not coming back.
Right.
So you buy what you can because once it's gone, that's that, and then you're kind of stuck without it. So, but at any rate, so it was a fun day. We will be going through when we get home. We'll go through like all the Disney rides that we did or didn't do.
Yeah.
And get into the whys and all that. I know a friend of mine. She's going on her 20-year anniversary here next week. So I'm kind of thinking, okay, so she wants my report on it. So I talked to various people just because she's known me for like 20 years.
Right.
So, but at any rate, I'd be interested to know your thoughts if you've had a recent experience with Disney. One other thing, I'll close with this. There was an hour and a half long car chase on LA TV here, and it postponed or it preempted 3 different half-hour comedy shows like sitcoms, and that wouldn't happen at home. Like they would just like probably have like a news update, like breaking news.
Yeah.
There's a chase going on in Vancouver. We'll update you at 6:00.
Yeah.
And then they just show us the highlights at 6:00. Here they're like, hey, where's the spike strips?
We want to see the spike strips. Oh, hey, they use the spike strip. Let's do the replay.
We gotta get the spike strips. Hey, do we have another angle of him missing the spike strips? Where's he going?
Yep.
What's he? Oh, he disappeared under the overpass. It's like, oh my gosh.
It was ridiculous.
I couldn't tell if they were rooting for it to continue as long as possible,
right, or
if they were complaining that the police weren't doing what they wanted them to do.
Right.
And I think the answer is yes. I think they wanted it to go on forever. I did think it was interesting, and again, just as a Canadian speaking, they rammed the car, and then he gets out, and there were 6 police officers with their guns drawn straight in his face, and I was like, I can't. Again, I understand it's different, but I can't imagine that at home. That was so that was something to watch while we were getting ready to go back to the park. So you don't see that at home. I missed Big Bang Theory because that was what was supposed to be on. So that's what you weren't able to see was Big Bang Theory. So,
I'm not sure I like.
I did get to watch a little bit of Storage Wars though, which is always ridiculous.
I don't like that show either.
I need to do a video on this channel on ridiculous reality shows. And
that Yvonne doesn't like.
Yvonne can co-host it with me because that'd be a funny one. So
we have very different tastes.
Like Ghost Adventures.
Oh my gosh, those shows drive me crazy.
See, that will be a good video.
They irritate me. Those shows irritate me.
So stay tuned for that. And I have to say too that seeing that the Hockey Channel is doing really well with videos I pre-recorded, don't be surprised if that becomes like a thing I do a little more regularly as the year goes by, because then it gives me more time to spend with her driving her nuts. So probably gonna be more of that. But hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video from a very, very tired THG, and we need like a way of shortening your name down.
No, we don't.
THG, the hockey gal.
Only that would not shorten it.
THL, the hockey lady.
2 syllables. You can do it.
Vaughn.
Okay. Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.